right, boys and girls, thank you so much for having your science books on your desk. Today, we are going to be talking about constellations. Raise your hand if you've heard of the word constellation before. Raise your hand if you've never heard that word before. All right, well, who can tell me something that you know about a constellation? Raise your hand. Isis, what do you know about constellations?
It's about space.
Okay, constellations are in space. Very good. Does anybody know anything else about constellations? Good. Constellations connect to make a picture. And Richard, what do you know about them? Nothing. Okay, Jordan?
Constellations create a shape or someone or a shape or a person inside the sky lined by bright stars.
Lined by bright stars. Good. Boys and girls, thumbs up if you knew any of those things that we just said. Thumbs down if that was the first time you've ever heard about that. Okay, well, don't worry, because today we're going to be learning a lot more about constellations. Can you go ahead? Oh, thank you. Good job, Richard. All right. What is something that you would like to know about constellations? Does anybody have any questions that you would like to know about a constellation? Yes, Jean.
What type of constellation?
Okay. What types of constellations are there? I'm just going to write what types to make it short. What else would you like to know about constellations?
What are the names of the constellations?
Okay, we want to know the types. We want to know the names. What else? Somebody new. Casey, is there any questions that you have about constellations? Huh? Where are constellations? Good. And one more. Do you have one, Oscar?
What are they for?
Huh?
What are they for?
Yeah, what's the point of them? Why are they important? What are they for? All right, in today's lesson, we're going to learn the answer to pretty much all of these questions. Oh no, I fucked up. Okay, so we're going to learn about the different types of constellations. We're going to learn about the names of different constellations. We're going to find out where they are. We're going to find out what they're for. We're going to find all of that out today. In your science books, please open page 68 and 69. We're not drawing, right? Okay, 68 and 69. Thank you for being there so quickly, Oscar and Trishka. This whole table. Thank you, guys. Very good. I hear a little too much chatter from the front two tables. All right, good job, Richard. Good job, Kayla. Page 68 and 69. In these two pages, we're going to remember the different details that the author uses in the passages. So as we're reading, any detail that you hear about a constellation, I want you to underline it. So go ahead and tell me the title of this page, Kayla. Patterns in the sky. Boys and girls, raise your hand and tell me, what do you think a pattern in the sky is called? Lisa? What do you think that a pattern in the sky is called? What's the name for that, Richard? A constellation. Very good. A constellation is a pattern in the sky. Raise your hand and tell me if you've ever heard of the constellation, the Big Dipper. Wow. Raise your hand if you've ever seen the Big Dipper. Wow, many of you. Very good. Hands down. The pattern of the Big Dipper, it looks like a big, giant spoon. And we're going to see that one. We're going to see a picture of that a little bit later. Okay, go ahead and read for me what it says next to active reading. Amaya. Phrases
that
provide.
details about constellations.
Very good. So, as you read these pages, we're going to do just that. Any details that you see about constellations, I want you to circle them. Or you can underline them if that's easier. Richard, do you have a question? Okay. Why don't you go ahead and read for me the first paragraph? Nice and loud, okay?
For thousands of years,
go ahead and pause. Boys and girls, what detail did you just read about what a constellation is? Casey, what did that passage say that a constellation is?
Is a group of stars that seem to form a pattern in the night sky.
Very good. So a group of stars that seem to form pattern. Make sure you underline that or circle that because that is a very, very important detail. You should be underlining that. Come on, focus, Joel. All right, continue reading, Richard.
There appear to be Greek living constellations after animals or stars called
Myths. All right. Raise your hand if you heard an important detail in what he just read. Isis, what was it?
Animals or people form stories called myths.
Good. Animals or people from stories called myths. That's what the ancient Greeks, they would name. Raise your hand. Good. Raise your hand. The ancient Greeks, they would look at the stars, and when they saw a pattern, they would name it after an animal or after a famous story. Okay? A myth is a story that gets passed down. That's not necessarily true. So that's what the ancient Greeks named constellations after. Lisa, continue reading for us at the Big Dipper.
The Big Dipper is a part of a constellation called Ursa Major.
Ursa Major.
Ursa Major, or Great Bear.
Orion.
Orion is a constellation named after a hunter in a Greek myth.
Very good. Boys that just came in, we're on page 68 and 69 talking about constellations. So, Lisa just read that the Big Dipper is part of a bigger constellation called Ursa Major. What's another name for Ursa Major? Look in your book. Jean, I saw your name first. The Great Bear. So, class, what do you think that Ursa Major looks like? A bear, probably. Very good. Orion is a constellation named after a hunter in a Greek myth. Alexis, have a seat. Thank you. Continue reading for me, Patrishka. As Earth rotates.
As Earth rotates on its axis, constellations seem to move across the night sky. Like the sun, they seem to rise in the east and set in the west. Stars above the North Pole, however, seem to move in a circle.
Very good. So, like the sun, they seem to rise in what direction, Isis? Where do they rise from?
They rise from the north.
They rise in the...
North Pole.
No. What is it, Joelle? Good. It seems like they rise in the east and set in the west. You are reading the next detail, Isis. You read stars above the North Pole, however, seem to move in a circle. Very good. Read the last paragraph for me, Eric, nice and loud. The positions. You know where we are? All right, focus, okay? Joelle, can you read for us? The positions of constellations, the last paragraph.
The positions of constellations change with the season. This is because
We see
different parts of space as Earth revolve around the sun. The stars in the constellations do change a little over time. However, it might take millions of years for a constellation to change its shape.
very good. So class, after what Joelle just read, who can tell me why do the constellations change where they are in the sky? How come one night it might be here and then nights later it might be over there? Why is that? We read it in the book. Akeem.
We see different parts of space
As Earth does what? Good. Very good. We see different parts because the Earth is constantly revolving around the sun. So we're seeing different parts of the sky. Very good. Right underneath that passage, you guys see a bunch of stars. I want you to connect some stars and make your own constellation and think of a name. Think of a name for your constellation. And I'm going to ask a couple of you to tell me why you named it that. You're just going to connect the stars however you would like. Lisa, that's very creative. I love that.
Oh.
Eric, are you thinking? These stars right here. Just connect them any kind of way. And then I want you to think of a title. I'm going to give you guys about 20 more seconds. I see some creative constellations. I love it. You're what? Okay, you should be there though. All right, guys, begin wrapping up your drawing and make sure you have a name. Wow, very creative. All right, Oscar, what did you name your constellation?
Nemesis.
Nemesis. And why did you name it Nemesis?
It's
You need some more time to think? All right, I'll come back to you. Isis, what did you name your constellation?
the mixing
The Mixing. And why did you name it that?
because I don't know what it is.
Okay, that's good. I want you guys to think of a story though that could go behind your star. Remember that the ancient Greeks, they named their constellations after different animals or after a story that they had heard.
Oh,
So Lisa, what did you name yours?
wacky M.
What is it?
Wacky M.
Wacky M. And why did you name it that?
Because my M looks wacky.
Because it looks like an M that's wacky? Very good. I love it. All right, you thought of a name, Oscar? Okay, what is it?
It's Nemesis,
Okay.
and it represents Hercules' glory and how he became a legend.
Very nice. So does your constellation look like Hercules, kind of?
No.
What does it look like? Remember, we want our constellation to match the name and the story behind it, okay? All right, I'll take one more. Jean. Pickaxe. And why did you name it a pickaxe, boys and girls, when you were circling? Because it's shaped like a pickaxe. Okay, very good. Hands down, hands down. Very good. I saw a lot of you guys drawing very creative constellations, and you had great names for them. I'm going to look through them after the end of the lesson, okay? So I'll get to see all of your constellations. All right, boys and girls, look at the next page. And read for me the yellow caption that you see next to the pictures. Pages. We're on page 69 now. Okay, Alexis, read for me the yellow caption.
These pictures show stars seen from the same location to the sunlight. At left and western, at right, the constellation change their
Very good. In those pictures, we have the constellations Canis Major, which is the great dog, and Canis Minor. Boys and girls, what do you think Canis Minor is? If Canis Major is the great big dog, what do you think that Canis Minor is? Jordan?
The small dog.
Good, it's the little dog. These are constellations of two dogs that follow the hunter Orion through the sky.
Oh, it looks like two dogs.
I can't answer you when you're falling out. Thank you. Yes?
This constellation looks like two dinosaurs fighting.
Yeah? And I see Tyler and Zapata looking at the one on the bottom of the page, right? Read for me that caption, Tyler. Go ahead.
For thousands of years, people have seen pictures in the sky. They connect the stars to make a parallel shift.
Very good. So, going back to the original two pictures, we said that those two dogs look like they're chasing each other. They look like they're, well, not that they're chasing each other. They look like they're